Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine, guys. I hope you're having a great week. Hope you're having a great FPL season, and I hope you had a good game week 35. It was a bit of a crazy game week, wasn't it, guys? I mean, what we expected and what came out in the end, it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, there was no correlation. This crazy week. I mean, March got injured. Obviously, Rashford got injured. Haaland blanked. Imagine playing the full quota of 90 minutes and then blanking. Watkins, obviously, I played him. He blanked. Weird game week, guys. To be honest with you, that's all there is to it. Stupinan, new. Can you believe that? I mean, Everton beating beating like Brighton at home with 5 goals. That's absolutely insane. I don't know what's going on with this Brighton team. They go and beat Wolves like 6-0, and then they lose to Everton. But I'm hoping that this Everton team gains in confidence and takes some points off City. Being an Arsenal fan, that's all I can hope. So guys, I'm not gonna waste much time. So I got 37 points, guys, and the rank is like almost the same, no change. So it wasn't good, it wasn't bad. I'm gonna take that. The only slight remorse is that I could have captained Salah. My captain was Salah, but then when we got the news that Haaland is starting, then changed it back. Sometimes news isn't all that good, right? So guys, this is about my team. First of all, I'd like to welcome all of you. Zara, Smelly Web, Light Rays, Marco, FPL, Sam, Brian. Thanks for being here, guys. And the question, we got the first question from Marco. He says, thoughts on Wilson, Isaac double up. I think if you want to, you can double up on Isaac and Wilson. I think that'll give you the real advantage of the Newcastle double game week. Because if you're having only Isaac or only Wilson, I don't think that it'll push you up in ranks. I think almost every active FPL manager would have at least either of Isaac or Wilson. So if you want the real push up your ranks, you need a differential kind of. Either you bring Isaac and Wilson together, or you get somebody like let us say somebody like Murphy. Murphy, you bring him in, and then that'll give you a differential. Joe Willock, these type of players will give you the differential that you're looking for. Only getting Isaac, like myself, it won't help you too much. Brian says, my transfer decision is down to second choice keeper. Do you think Ward over Forster is worth it to save 0.1? I may need, but not essential. I feel Ederson could be benched game week 38, so Forster could be better. Brian, to be honest with you, I think at this moment in time, I don't think you should not waste a transfer on your keeper, my friend. Like second choice, making an aggressive transfer to move up the ranks is a different thing. Making a transfer for your second keeper right now is, I personally don't think it is the right thing to do, my friend. So if I was you, just save the transfer, roll the transfer, or make an aggressive transfer, like bringing in somebody like Murphy. That'll help you more. Last game week was a bummer. It was a bit of a bummer, but I mean, ever since I've transferred Odegaard, he's turned into prime Kevin De Bruyne, scoring goals left, right, and center. When I had him, he was doing next to nothing. I don't know, how to interpret this. I guess. Brian says, I must do it for Mac. Well, if you already have Solly March, then you should obviously go for McAllister. Or if you have McAllister and March, then you should go for Mitoma. That's like double up on Brighton is obviously or triple up on Brighton is obviously desirable, because they've got two double game weeks. They've got a double game week coming up. I mean, in game week 37, and in this game week as well. So that's the only team which has got two double game weeks. So why not? Achitan says, hi Wiz, I need funds to do March to Mac and Ings to Wilson. Isaac, I am in short of funds. I have Trent, Rashford, Ederson. Who should I sell to release the funds? Or March to Willock and Ings to Isaac? To be honest with you, I think McAllister is a better option. He's got one more fixture than Joe Willock. You know? So, to be honest with you, if I had to sell one, I'd possibly sell Ederson out of them, you know. He has the lowest ceiling out of the three players. Planning on taking a -4 due to insufficient funds, March to McAllister and Watkins to Isaac, or March to McAllister and Rico Henry to Tarkowski. Zara, I like the first transfer. Actually, let me tell you what transfers. I've already made my transfers, so let me just write down my transfers. So, I took out, obviously, March for McAllister, and second transfer was obviously Ollie Watkins to Isaac. These are my transfers. So I just pin this message for anybody who's joining the stream late. Alright, so Joe Linton or Willock? To be honest with you, I mean, Joe Linton has been scoring goals, but Willock has been looking really, really good. Even against Arsenal, Willock had a couple of really good chances. FPL Summit is a roll of a dice, to be honest with you. I mean, you bring in Joe Linton, Willock scores the goals. You bring in Willock, Joe Linton scores the goals. I mean, it's difficult to call that one out, really. You know, personally, if I had to go for one, I'd possibly, pick, Joe Linton, because he has scored more goals than Willock in the past 2 weeks. Haaland probably won't start, but with Rashford likely injured, I've had to put him on the bench. Yep, it's the same problem with all of us. I just hope he doesn't magically recover like Bruno Fernandes and then starts the game, but I hope not. I don't think so. He's gonna do it. Imran says, afternoon Wiz, the heat is scorching. Afternoon, my friend, heat is definitely scorching. The results were not that positive. I have a ligament tear, so you just need to rest. I was hoping I could just start strengthening and all that stuff, but the doctor said I just need to rest, let it recover, and then I can get back to starting to strengthen and stuff. Hopefully it's gonna be fine, bro. Thanks for asking. Shiham says, thoughts on Mahrez? I think this week Mahrez is going to start and could prove to be a really good differential. So if you're thinking about getting him, I think that's a good option. Thakif says, is that your final transfers? I've already made the transfers, Thakif. Unfortunately, I mean, I really would have loved to wait for the deadline because we might have early team news. And I would love to know whether Wilson is starting or Isaac is starting or not, and then make my transfers. That would be ideal. But the problem is I only had 0.1 million in the bank, and I knew that Solly March or McAllister is gonna go up in price, and Watkins was gonna fall in price. So I would have been priced out of my moves with nothing left to do, because I wanted Isaac and I wanted McAllister in place of March, and I just had the right amount of money. So if I didn't make my transfers yesterday, I would have been priced out of those moves, and that's why I just I pulled the trigger. I made a decision to go for Isaac, not waiting for the early team news this time because of the lack of cash. So yeah. Michael says, Wiz, what transfers should I make? Michael, if you tell me tell me your team and what is your dilemma, and I'll definitely help you. I've already made my transfer, so I've got not much to think about, guys. So I'm just gonna be relaxed and answer your questions. By the way, I added this new thing. I added this new thing to the below my team. It tells you how much time is left to the deadline. I think it would help all of us, rather than looking at the watch again and again. It'll just show you on the screen, so you don't need to worry and you won't miss the deadline. Fadzili says, Wiz, I don't know what to do. The plan before the Rashford injury is March out for Bruno and Robertson out for Shaw. Now Rashford out, if he doesn't play, means I have Greenwood and Totti coming in. Well, then just get in Bruno for Rashford and bring in McAllister for March. if you have the money. You know, that those transfers would make sense to me. Yeah, Fadzali, that timer's new, bro. CAV says big fan of the deadline countdown. Thank you so much, CAV. I thought it would be intuitive and you know just be helpful. That's the reason I kind of added it. Surfer says, hey Viz, hope you recover soon. Thank you so much, Surfer. Really appreciate it. Fadzali, I answered your questions. Post it into the group, says Michael. All right, Mike, I'm gonna check your questions. The group he's talking about, guys, is our group on Twitter, which we have a kind of a private group in which we kind of discuss FPL most of the time, and a little bit of banter as well. Who to captain, Isaac or Wilson? Well, I mean, if you have both, and you know, you we get the news before the end of the deadline that Wilson and Isaac both are starting, I would possibly captain Wilson. But the thing is, Fez, you have to be careful because there are 2 games, right? We're not sure whether Wilson is going to start the second game or not. So if you want a more reliable person or a more reliable player for both the game weeks, I think it's Isaac. More explosive obviously should be Wilson. Zara says notice the timer. Thank you. You're welcome, Zara. Thank you so much, guys. I'm waiting. CAV says I'm waiting for news on Isaac Wilson. As you say, my rival has Botman too. I'm 15 ahead, worth taking a -4. I think no, as I would have to drop a mid forward. I don't think you need to take a -4 for Botman, CAV, to be honest with you. The ceiling with Botman is not that high. So taking a -4 for Botman, I don't think so. Because the double is not really the best. You know, is okay, but it's not the best. So I possibly wouldn't take a -4 for. I mean, if I'd take a -4 for Isaac or Wilson, I'd say yes, why not? But for Botman, not necessarily. You know, Leeds and Brighton are 2 teams which I expect to score goals. So it might be a good fixtures for attacking players, maybe not necessarily for the defensive players, is what I mean. Yeah. Gavin says, should I start Akanji or Shaw? I would possibly start Shaw, my friend. I think Manchester City's got too much going on about them at this moment in time. They've got a Real Madrid game coming up, and Pep has been making some weird, mysterious comments about Haaland as well. So, yeah, I think I would start Shaw. Pineapple Pie says, hi, was start Kepa or Rhea? Well, Kepa, he obviously has a fixture against Nottingham Forest. It's touch and go, my friend. It's a difficult one to call, to be honest with you. Very difficult one. I'd possibly think, well, Chelsea got a win last game week against Bournemouth, so that might give them some confidence. It's touch and go, my friend. Although I think at this moment in time, you can start Rhea as well. West Ham would be thinking about their fixture in Europe as well, so you know. What happened in their game? West Ham United. Yeah, they won, right? I think they'll be thinking they'll be resting some players for that. And after they beat Manchester United, I think they're pretty much safe from the relegation scuffle now, and I think they're going to be focusing more on the Conference League. So I think you can take a chance and start Rhea, my friend. Imran says, good job with the timer. Thank you so much, bro. Lewis says, start Rashford or Diaz. Lewis, I don't think Rashford's going to play, to be honest with you. So you can very well just put Rashford in the team and put Diaz first on the bench, or if you just want to go simple, just put Diaz in your team. I think Rashford doesn't have a chance of starting this game. Imran says, is it wise to bring in Alvarez for Watkins for a -4? Imran, to be honest with you, for a -4, it's touch and go. I think you can play Watkins as well. If Alvarez comes in, stealing 10-12 points, maybe, not sure whether how much Haaland plays, how much Alvarez plays. If Mahrez is going to play, where is Alvarez going to play? Because if Haaland plays as well, there's not much, it's a bit of an uncertainty. So if I was you, I wouldn't take a -4. If it was for a free transfer, I'd think yes. Start Steele or Kepa. I would start Steele. Although it's a double game week. He'll still, he'll get more save points. Has one more fixture. You never know what happens, my friend. Always just play the double game week player, my friend. Fadli says, I'm on a triple Brighton mid. I want Rashford, Bruno and Shaw by 37. That was the plan. If I roll, which was my initial plan, I'd be playing with 10 with Rashford out. Well, then don't roll, my friend. I think this game week it is not the game week to play with 10 players, Fadzili. That's the whole issue. Just sometimes things happen, when you have to first focus on this game week rather than the next one. And with just like 2 game weeks remaining after this one, I think your decisions should be short term rather than the long term. So get 11 players if I was you. Any news on Share and March? I think March is definitely out. Is got a hamstring, so I don't see him coming back anytime soon. 3 weeks is the time taken for the hamstring to heal. About Share, it's touch and go. I think he had a similar injury as well. Just hang on, give me a second. So, with just a second, my friend. I think Share should be all right, according to my my notes. I think Share should be okay to start. Looks that way. Share should be okay to start according to my notes, my friend. CAV says, thanks for confirming my thoughts regarding Botman. If no team news, I think I'll go Wilson. Do we think Isaac is on penalties if Wilson's not on the pitch? I think so, CAV. I mean, it could be Trippier, it could be Isaac. I mean, it's with Newcastle, they just don't win too many penalties, so it's hard to kind of see who's going to take the penalties. But I think Isaac, if Wilson is not on the pitch, I think Isaac takes the penalty. I think he wants to be the spearhead of the team, and if he wants to be that main striker, he has to be on penalty taking duties. What if I do March to Gross next week, -8, Robo to Shaw, Pope to 3.9, Gross to Bruno? What if I do March to Gross? I mean, the problem with Gross is, if Joel Weltman is not playing, then he's going to be playing right back, and that is not where you want your player to be playing, my friend. If Joel Weltman is fine, then he's going to be playing further up the field. That is exactly where we want Pascal Gross to play. But I'm not sure about Joel Weltman and whether he's going to play or not. Just kind of let me check my notes on this one. I'll let you know. So according to me, Weltman is not gonna play, so that makes Gross on right back, a play on right back, which I don't really prefer, to be honest with you. Pez says, start Edison or De Gea. Pez, to be honest with you, I'd probably, I'd start De Gea because City's gonna play Everton away. City has not been keeping any clean sheets. They've been conceding late leaky goals. They're leading 3-0, 4-0. So they're not really as airtight with that defense. So mostly Edison just concedes one goal at the end, like stupid one shot on target and he concedes a goal most of the time. So I think you can't go with De Gea. I think United have got to fight for that top 4 place. And that's all they got left to play for, except I think the FA Cup final, obviously. So let's see. I personally, if I was you, I'd think about De Gea. Geeta says, hey Sam, is -4 worth to bring Isaac and Wilson? If not, then I have to play with Isaac and Totti as have benching issues. To be honest with you, if you want to take a -4 for Isaac and Wilson, I'm not against that, my friend. If you want to attack this game week, they've got a double, and the fixtures don't look bad on paper either. The only problem is, you're taking a -4 hit, and you should be ready to accept that Wilson possibly is not going to play 180 minutes. So if he's benched for one of the games, you have to accept that. If you're ready to do that, I don't think there's going to be an issue with this move which you're suggesting. All right, let's have a look at McConnor's team. So McConnor's team is the question is, he's got 2 free transfers. So March to Mitoma looks a good move to me, and then Watkins to whichever one is playing, so we get the early team news. So Marsh to Matoma and Watkins to Isaac or Wilson should be the moves for you, my friend. Those are the moves which I would make, my friend. Right. So if you have any other questions, follow-up questions, Michael, just let me know. SH says, first of all, hey SH, I hope you're doing well. The transfer plan I've already pinned. If you look at my tweet, I've pinned it at the top. Those are the transfers which I've already made, SH. I had 2 free transfers. I already made them both. Play Kepa or Rhea? I would possibly play Rhea, but it's touch and go, Zara. But I think Rhea. I can play Rhea because Chelsea did win the game against Bournemouth, but they still conceded a goal. They're not just. Currently, I can't trust Kepa enough. I think Rhea, you can play Rhea. You know, the ceiling is. Like with Rhea, he makes lots of saves, so even if like he doesn't keep a clean sheet, he'll just get you like 3-4 points anyway. So, you know, I possibly would play Rhea. Is Forster gonna start the remaining games? I think so. Yes. Lloris, I don't think is not getting anywhere close to that team after those howlers. Start Rashford or Stones? I don't think Rashford's gonna play Stan. To be honest with you, I think. If you want, you can put Rashford in the team and put Stones first on the bench, so you don't need to make that decision. Obviously, if Rashford was fit, I would start Rashford over Stones. Riddhi says, hi, Wiz, should I bench Rashford and start Grealish? Should I bench Rashford and start Grealish or Shaw or start Rashford? Again, Riddhi, the same answer. I think you can put Rashford in the team if you want to. I don't think he's going to start. So, whichever one you prefer out of Grealish and Shaw, you should put them first on the bench. I think they'll automatically come in. Should I start Robertson or Saka? I would start Saka over Robertson, my friend. The attacking player over the defender always. I mean, you know. George Lyle says, hey Wiz, hey George, I hope you're doing well. Marco says, I'm considering taking the punt for Wilson and Isaac. Do you think Watkins for Wilson and Burn to Dunk is a good punt? I can't afford Estupinan. I mean, Dunk is alright, to be honest with you, Marco. The only problem is Estupinan is very attacking. Even in the previous double game, he could have easily got 2 goals. Estupinan. Dunk, on the other hand, he stays back and he prefers to play long balls and stuff. So you should expect like maybe a clean sheet, but not attacking points from Dunk. So if you're happy with that, I think you can easily pick Dunk. No issues with that. Thakif says Kepa or Raya. I think Zara had the same question. I think it's a difficult one, but I personally would go with Raya. Riddhi says, also how about Wilson captain? I also have Isaac. Riddhi, I mean, you can. All right, guys. A lot of people have this question, so why not let's let Fantasy Football Fix help us with this. And by the way, let me add this countdown timer here as well, just so that we can see it here, right, guys? Just put it here. So we have some information about this, right? So there's your timer. So let's just compare the two, guys. Let me go to Fantasy Football Fix and let's compare them over the last 5 game weeks, right? I think that's fair, guys. Your 3 steps to FPL success. There you go. So we'll pick Wilson, and for player 2, I'm picking Isaac. So on the left is Wilson, this is Isaac, guys, and let's select game week 31. The last 6-7 game weeks, you know, and let's see how these guys are performing. All right, so you can see obviously Alexander Isaac has more minutes than Wilson, but Wilson's got more points than Isaac. 6 bonus versus 5 points per game, 6.6 versus 5 for Isaac. 80% probability to start, 40% for Wilson, right? Obviously, look where Wilson plays most of his games. Look at because Isaac is obviously, when Wilson is starting, Isaac starts out on the left wing, so you can see where they touch the ball. Look at the average position. I mean, we can say it's fairly same because Isaac has played some games as a striker as well, you know. But Wilson is more central, you know. Look at where they're taking their shots from. Look at these high XG shots that Wilson is taking. Absolutely insane, you know. I mean, Isaac is taking shots in the box as well. They're just not high XG shots, you know. So you know, there's more like finesse shots in these ones which Isaac is taking, you know. But he's a clinical finisher, Isaac. When he gets a chance, he scores a goal, you know. But you can see Wilson. Look at the chances which he takes, you know, like right bang in the 6-yard box. And touch heat map already saw. Attempted assists, I don't think this makes much of a difference. We're looking for goals, not assists. So right, this is it. So let's look at the average attacking radar. Obviously, as you can see with the Callum Wilson, he's got this whole side dominated, you know, in which this is like goals more than Isaac, XG more than Isaac, more shots on target, shots in the box. It's leading all the stats here, you know. Isaac is leading more the stats in the chances created, attempted assists, expected assists, and all that stuff. So per 90, look at the number of goals. Isaac has scored 2, Wilson has scored 5, you know. Both are outperforming their XG, so we also have to consider that. How long can Wilson keep outperforming his XG? Let's look at the stats per 90 minutes. 1.66 goals per 90 minutes for Wilson. That's insane, guys. Not seen those numbers for anybody except Haaland. 1.66 goals per game is really insane. XG, 1 goal per game. Isaac, 0.33, you know. Almost 3 times for Wilson. Shots, 3.65 per game. That's insane. This Isaac has got 2.55. It's really good. Shots on target, 1, 2.3. Excuse me. 3 shots in the box, 2.3 shots in the box. So Wilson leads all the attacking stats in terms of shooting. Assisting, Wilson's got no assists. Isaac might have got 1. Yeah, or 1. But expected assists also 1.09. So I think Isaac leads this tally, guys. We don't need to read it. We can easily see this. I mean, he's more of a creative striker. Wilson is more of a finisher. If you play FIFA, you'd know creator and a finisher. So, you know, that's all I think what you need to know. You can see here, this is the difference, guys. 5 goals to 2. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Both have got 9 shots in the box. Wilson's just more shots on target, more clinical, guys. I hope it helps. Let's go back and answer your questions now, right? Alright. I hope, Riddhi, that answers the question, my friend. Trippier captain. I personally prefer to captain Isaac or Wilson, but if you don't have either of them and you can't afford either of them, then I would possibly go with Trippier. And that's the only case in which I would go for Trippier. MT is the same answer. That's the reason I would go for Trippier captain is if you don't own Isaac or Wilson. Because Newcastle also haven't been keeping clean sheets. I showed you if you were on my last stream, I have been discussing this, right? Look at Trippier, for example. You really want to captain him? I mean, look at this. Since Gameweek 22, he's got 1 double-digit score, and that's it. You know, like he's still not had a 6-pointer, 1 5-pointer, and 1 12-pointer. Other than that, 1 pointers and 2 pointers all the way through from Gameweek 22. 2 2 1 1, a single 5 and a 12. You know, and then again 2 2 2 1 2 2 2 1. I would not want to captain that. Opposed to that, look at Isaac. You know, sorry. Look at Isaac. This is the player has the impact. This is the player you want to captain. 7, 13, 5, 6, 13, 7. At least he's got some like returns in the past few weeks. I mean, Wilson is going to be even better. Wilson has been going insane. So I prefer to captain Isaac and Wilson over Trippier, my friend. Alright, George says, thoughts on doing Marsh to Gross instead of McAllister? By the way, I have Mitoma already. I mean, to be honest with you, you can go with Gross, George. I already discussed this before you came to the stream. Gross is going to be playing right back. He's not going to be playing as a number 10, where he scored the 2 goals that he got. He's going to be playing right back because Joel Veltman is not fit. So do you really want to play Gross, a midfield? Like, we want to play a midfielder who plays as a striker. We want to play a defender who plays as a midfielder. We really don't want a midfielder who plays as a defender. That doesn't serve our purpose, in my humble opinion. Um, so think about it, my friend. I personally wouldn't do it. Rest, obviously, it's your decision, but I personally wouldn't do it. All right, let's. George says, "Can you compare McAllister and Gross?" Yeah, George, sure. I'll head over to Fantasy Football Fix in a bit, and I'll compare McAllister and Gross for sure. Riddhi says, "Thanks a lot, Wiz, and also thanks for showing the tool too. Is it free?" Riddhi, you're welcome. The tool is not free. It's a paid one, but Fantasy Football Fix, they sponsor my streams, so they let me use it for free to show, like, to show it on my streams as well as. So thanks a lot for to Fantasy Football Fix for sponsoring obviously my streams. Baz says, "I still have triple captain and free hit chip. Could you suggest when to use?" Faz, I'm in free hit. I think next week you can use triple captain. It's a bit of a tough one because next game week is a double game week, a big double game week. So you ideally want to use your free hit then. And triple captain, this game week you can possibly take a risk on Wilson or Isaac. I don't really feel that, to be honest with you, or possibly, the second option which you have is to head on to the last game week, which is going to be a bit of a, lottery. You can possibly think about putting it on, maybe an Arsenal player, maybe a United player, a City player if they really are looking to win the league in the last game. If the league goes to the last game, then you can possibly put on a City player. You should not have left it so late, in my humble opinion. But I would not suggest you to play the free hit chip in a double game in a single game week. I would suggest you to play triple captain. Either put it this game week on one of the players, on Isaac and Wilson. Or save it for the last game week. But next week in Gaming 37, I think you should play your free hit chip. Play Mings or Henry. Well, Mings plays against Spurs. Kane's in good form. He's gonna score a goal. I think Mings isn't gonna keep a clean sheet. Henry, I think, why not? If you don't have Rhea, then I think you should play Henry, my friend. Just my opinion. Bob says, compare for me McAllister and Gross. Alright guys, I'm just gonna... A couple of people are telling me to compare this, so I'm just gonna head over to heat maps again, and I'm gonna compare McAllister and Gross for you. After that, gonna come back and discuss some more. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one, guys. So I'm gonna go through it a little bit fast. So here's McAllister. Player 2 is McAllister, and player 1 is Gross. So on the left is Gross, right? Let's look at their average position. This is from game week. Yeah, it's from game week 31. It's fine, I think, right? So similar positions, guys. McAllister all playing a defensive midfielder or a deep lying midfielder, especially after the injury. Yeah. 6 shots for Gross, 18 for McAllister. McAllister takes his shots from from all the places. Gross, very little attacking output as compared to McAllister. He's on penalties as well. To be honest with you, for me it's not a doubt. If I had this option, I would go with McAllister. I'm just comparing these stats because you wanted me to compare them. Look at the stats. 2 goals for McAllister, 2 goals for Gross, 18 shots as compared to 6. Is that even a contest? 1 assist for Gross, 0 for McAllister. Per 90 minutes, look, 4.20 shots, 1.4 shots in the box, 1.4 shots on target, 2.3 in the box. Guys, it's I don't think we need to compare this. If I was you, I'd go with McAllister, guys. If Pascal Gross was playing at number 10, I'd still go for McAllister. Right now he's going to play at right back. So honestly, no contest, guys. Go with if I was you, I would go with I don't want to force my opinion on anyone, just telling you what I think. Hey, I feel Jug, I hope you're doing well. At the moment there are no leaks. I'm on Twitter. I've got my eyes open. We've got FPL Sam. We've got Matea, all of our friends on Twitter, As soon as we get any news, we're gonna relay it on the stream. Gavin says, "Hey Viz, do you think Barnes is a good punt considering they're battling relegation against Liverpool?" I personally don't think so, my friend. I mean, if you want to take Barnes, it's totally up to you. If you want, you can take him, but I don't think he's a good punt at this moment in time. If I had to punt on someone, it would be from let's a team like like Murphy, like a Newcastle player like Murphy or somebody like that, because they're playing for the top 4 spot. They lost to Arsenal, and now they're looking to bounce back. They've got a double game week. I mean, Barnes against Liverpool, I'm not so sure, especially against a Liverpool team which is resurgent. They're coming back to form. That's the whole issue right now. Anis says play Shaw or Foden. I haven't showed the predictions today. Let's just head over for a bit and look at the predictions as well. I think it's gonna help just clear our doubts, because I have no idea whether Foden's primed to start. 54% for Foden. I personally wouldn't. I mean, if you want, you can put him in the team, but expect him to come off the bench. That's the thing. Always prefer the attacking player, but I'm not sure if he's going to start. So if you want a really nailed on player, then I would go for the other one. Otherwise, I would play Foden. Mahrez, Haaland. I mean, 100% of the fans seem to think that Haaland is going to start. 88% of the fans seem to think that Alvarez is going to start. I think then Alvarez plays on the left rather than the right, because on the right, Mahrez is going to play. Akanji, 96%. KDB, Silva, Gundogan, Foden, all in the very low percentages, even Grealish. The only one in midfield is nailed on as per fans is Rodri, Laporte, Diaz. Even Stones, they don't think. Very, very divided. It's understandable as well. So the only one I would pick from Manchester City is possibly Alvarez or Mahrez. That's it. Foden, if you have him, you can put him in the team. That is totally, totally up to you, my friend. Let's see what they think about Rashford here, right? 0%, guys. Nobody thinks Rashford's going to start, so that should clear your doubts. 32% think Van Bissaka's going to start, and 100% think Delo is going to start. Where's Shaw? Lindelof, Dubravka. Where's Shaw? Here's Shaw 100% as well. Right, guys, so we don't have much time. Let's go back and answer your questions. Right. Amit says, hey Viz, a little late for the stream. Planning to do Jota to Isaac or Wilson, Tony to Ferguson, and March to Bruno for a -4. Or Jota to Isaac Wilson and March to Mac. Can't you just do Tony to Wilson, Tony to Isaac or Wilson, and March to McAllister as well? I mean, I like all those moves, to be honest with you, my friend. I like the -4 move as well. I like the without -4 move as well. I think they're both good. I think you can go ahead. I like both the moves. If you have any specific questions, Amit, I think that they're both upside moves. The problem with Ferguson is coming back from injury. I'm not sure how much fit he's gonna be. At least with Isaac, Wilson, and McAllister, they're fit. Any news? Right now, there's no news, guys. As soon as I get any news, I'll let you know very quickly here. So if there's any leak, I'll let you know. Start Robertson or Shaw? I would start Robertson, maybe, just because of the attacking threat and Leicester being susceptible to the wings. For a clean sheet, I think Shaw has more possibility to keep a clean sheet. For the attacking threat, I think Robertson. So you have to make that decision. Bob says, thanks, McAllister it is. Cheers, my friend. Thanks, Wes. Thinking to use my second free transfer on Rashford to Mahrez. How likely is Rashford to be back for double game week 37? Unfortunately, George, I think we don't know the extent of the injury to Rashford, because Ten Hag says he's doubtful for the game on Saturday. Didn't really tell us that when he's going to be back in the press conference. So it's just speculation. That's the problem. I mean, if you have a transfer to spare, you can go Rashford to Mahrez, and in case Rashford's back next week and you don't, just get Rashford back. If that's what it comes to. It's just 2 weeks left in the season. We don't need to make long-term transfers. So even if it is a transfer for 1 week, I think you can do it if it gives you an upside. If you feel that there's going to be an upside. I personally think it's going to be a difficult game for Manchester City at the Goodison. Because they're going to be very, very, confident after beating Brighton 5-1 at the Amex. So gonna be a tough game. But if you really want to get Rashford, just get Mahrez and bring Rashford back next week if that's what it comes to. FPL Jug says captain Mac Allister. Jugs, you can captain him. The thing is, the fixtures are a little bit tough. I mean, Arsenal away and Newcastle away are not the two fixtures in which you really want to captain Mac Allister. I think Newcastle have better fixtures. That's the reason my captaincy is on Isaac. Summon Lee says March to Mac Allister for a -4 worth it. I have Martinelli to cover March and Zuma to cover Rashford if necessary. I think Martinelli is good enough cover for Solly March, but the thing is, they've got a double game week next game week as well. So if you make this transfer, it essentially costs you nothing. Like 2 points this week, 2 points next week. It costs you nothing. Your -4 is covered anyway, and also you get like 2 more games out of Mac Allister as compared to Martinelli. So if I was you, I'd go for Mac Allister. Brian says, I'm still contemplating second goalkeeper. Do you think Ederson plays all of the remaining games? I will get Mac Allister. It's just Ward or Forster to fund it. I fear Ederson bench game week 38 for the past hour. Brian, I mean, you knew this risk when you were getting Ederson. Personally, I'm just saying this. If I was you, I would make the attacking move. I would not spend a transfer on a keeper in game week 36. Just doesn't make sense to me. Even if Ederson starts, he's got a floor of 2 points and he's got a ceiling of 6 points. Do you think it really makes that much of a difference, to be honest with you? I don't think so, my friend. But if you want, obviously it's your team. It's just my opinion, my friend. I'm not an expert. If I was the expert in FPL, I would win it every year, or land up at top 10k every year. I'm just giving you my opinion, bro. Kasim says start Kepa or Steele. I would start Steele. FPL Jack says play Trent, Alexander-Arnold or Alvarez. Whoa, it's a very tough question. I would play Trent Alexander-Arnold, possibly because of his attacking threat, because he's playing as a midfielder. Jugs, that's a very difficult question, bro. Very difficult one. I mean, even the 88% of the fans seem to think that Alvarez is going to start. So very tough to say which one you should go for. If I was you, I would play Trent. Usman says I need to know if Mudryk will start. According to my notes, I think yes, Mudryk will start. I mean, he's been good these past few games, at least looking dangerous, if not scoring the goals. Personally, I think yes, Mudryk has a chance to start. Grealish or Martinelli, who to bench? I would bench Grealish. Giovan says, hey Viz, can you assess the captaincy options? Yeah, definitely, Giovan. I mean, to be honest with you, when I was putting this poll out, I couldn't really find good captaincy options for this week. Really, I mean, you obviously have the Newcastle players in Isaac and Wilson. Obviously, if I knew Wilson's going to start both the games, I would choose Wilson over Isaac. But since I have a doubt that whether Wilson starts both the games is the reason why I picked Isaac over Wilson in my team. But I think they're both good captaincy options. Isaac more so than Wilson, just because of the fact that I feel that he's going to play more minutes. Other than that, I feel that maybe if you don't want to captain a double game week player, I mean, Trippier can also be an option. But I just finished discussing, like, Trippier hasn't had good returns in like just one game since game week 22. He's got a double-digit score. Hasn't kept many clean sheets as well. Look, one clean sheet since game week 22. One clean sheet, guys. I mean, it's insane. The total number of clean sheets this season is 15. And up till game week 22, he kept 14 clean sheets, and after that, he just kept one clean sheet. So if you want, you can captain him. I'm personally not a fan of the Newcastle defenders as captaincy options. So what are we left with, essentially? Salah against Leicester. Haaland, if you're sure Haaland is going to start, obviously Haaland against Everton. I mean, even Arsenal against Brighton, you can pick one of the players. And obviously Bruno Fernandes, if you own Bruno Fernandes against Wolves. Wolves conceded 6 to Brighton. United need to win this game because they are struggling to make top 4, or they're trying to make the Champions League places. So I think Bruno Fernandes could be an outside option, a really good shout as well for captaincy, especially Rashford not playing. So yeah. If you have any more questions, Jovan, I follow up with that. Amit says, leaning to do Jota to Isaac Wilson and Marsh to Mac, cause Tony at home is tempting and Bruno is wait and watch without Rashford. I agree with you, Amit. If I was you, I'd do the same. But the thing is, like, selling Jota, I mean, if you want to sell Jota, that's totally fine. Yep. Whether to sell Tony or Jota is your personal decision, but I like this transfer more than the Ferguson move. High Wiz, Kepa or Ederson? Difficult one, Lee. Ederson, I think. The move is simply to fund Mac. I must do it. I have no choice. Then Brian, then go for it. If really you have like no other player to downgrade to fund Mac Allister, then you can do it, bro. Totally agree with that. Bench one from Kane, Watkins, Trent. Watkins. Wong says, is it worth -4 for KDB to Salah? I think it is. Yes. I don't think KDB plays the full 90 minutes, or I don't even think he plays this game unless like he comes on at halftime if Everton score a goal or City are losing. I don't think KDB plays this game. Fadli says, this is probably the week that I don't know what to do with. Fadli, when sometimes you're confused, better to do nothing. If you have a good team, sometimes we try to force a transfer. I don't think we need to do it. Sometimes just do nothing. You think I should start Shaw or White? If I was you, I'd start Shaw. Fadli says, make it simple. -4 next week equal to 10 players plus Rashford this week. -8 next week, 11 players this week. Rashford is not going to play Fadzli, so just like plus Rashford is like I mean, you can transfer out Rashford and you can have 11 players. So your -4 essentially reduces to a -2 because you didn't have a player who's gonna get any points. So even if you don't transfer Rashford and you take a -4 this week and get 11 players, that makes the hit worth -2 rather than a -4, which I think is desirable. Get in any other player who's playing. At least it reduces the hit to a -2. Jota or Foden or Mahrez? I'd pick Mahrez, my friend. Guys, it's time to lock your teams. We've got our reminder from Smelly Wab. Please lock your teams before asking any more questions. And I don't want you to miss the deadline, guys. Questions are important, but locking your team is more important. Set your captaincies, vice captains, benches, and then continue asking questions. Amit says, thanks a lot, Wiz. You're welcome, my friend. Keeping Tony for this alternate scoring pattern. I like that, Amit. I like that thought. FPL Heisenberg says, possible team news in 2 minutes. Well, guys, be ready with your teams, and hopefully we might get some news, right? As soon as we get some news, we'll relay it to you here. George, if you're on Twitter and you would like to join our private Twitter group, just send me a message. Jirit says, hi Wiz, would you start Grealish or Robertson? I would start Robertson because I don't think Grealish is going to start. Wongzi says, but KDB has a good game week 37, right? He has, but he's also got these Champions League fixtures sandwiched in between. Then he's also got an FA Cup final coming up. There's lots of games coming up, and I don't think Pep plays him in all the games. That's the issue, my friend. If you want to keep KDB, fine, but I don't expect him to play too much this game week unless City is losing. That's just my opinion, Wong. I could be wrong. Christian Fernandez says Grealish or Jota bench. I would bench Grealish. Mohammed Qasim says Isaac or Wilson. I went with Isaac. You can see my transfers. I picked Isaac because of the more security of minutes. Same question, Ari. I would go with the. I went with Isaac. If you want to wait for some time, I think we might have some early team news. There you go. No Newcastle from me. Oh my god. So team news and Tix is actually saying that he doesn't have the news, guys. Hopefully Heisenberg can give us some news. So let me take you here. Sorry, guys. I'm not supposed to be showing you my Twitter feed here. But hang on, guys. There you go. So this guy's has no news. So we're hoping FPL Heisenberg or somebody else can relay us some news about the Newcastle starting. Anyways, not wanting to show you all this stuff here, so I'm gonna go back to the page. Guys, lock your teams. Reminder once again. Should I do Rico Henry to Botman for a -8? I don't think so, Zara. I think that's a bit too much. Botman offers nothing in attack. Aditya says, would you consider Marsh to Almiron for a punt? No, because Almiron is not starting most of the games anyway. He comes on as a substitute. If it is a punt, go for Murphy or go for Joe Willock. Omar says, should I start KDB or Fernandes? I would start Bruno Fernandes. Fadli says, just for 1 week, Gross or Eze Oliz. I would go with just for this week, right? Difficult question, Fadli. Eze or Elise, I mean, that's obviously. I think you can take a punt on a Crystal Palace player if you really want to. With Gross, I mean, he has a double game week, but the thing is, he plays as a right back. If you have to take a punt, I think you can take a punt on Gross as well. At least he has 2 games, so I don't think there's going to be much difference between the points. Gross will get you 4 points anyway. If he keeps a clean sheet, that makes it 5, and he scores a goal or an assist, it's just an added bonus. Go for Gross then, if that's the only option. Rohit says Arsenal का title जीतना difficult दिख रहा है प्रोफेसर साहब. हाँ भाई, मेरा तो दिल पहले ही टूट गया था. I already had a broken heart when Arsenal dropped points away to Anfield. They dropped points at Olympic Stadium. They dropped points away to Manchester City. I knew the title was gone. I knew it already. No news, says FPL Sum. Made my transfers. Jolinton and Isaac for me. FPL Sum is the one to always go for a differential. So this time it's Jolinton. Nice one, FPL Sum. I hope you have a great game week. Guys, no news coming in? Really? That's all people are banking on is news. There you go. Not looking good, but still holding out hope, says FPL. FPL Heisenberg says, I'll show you. He says he possibly won't get the news, but he says I'm still waiting, guys. But there's just like under 5 minutes to go to the deadline. Please don't leave your transfers too late, guys. Start Stones or Grealish. Out of those two, I'd possibly start Grealish, but I don't expect neither of them to play. That's the issue. Anna says Isaac or Wilson for captain, triple captain this game week. Isaac, I'd say. Well, Amanda's very difficult question. I mean, I'm not expecting Wilson to play the whole matches for the both games. That's why I'm saying Isaac, because I think he's going to play more than Wilson, possibly. But very difficult question because you're talking about triple captain. But if I had Wilson and Isaac, I would still captain Isaac. So possibly that makes him the best option for triple captaincy as well. George says it's looking like no team news at the moment, which is a shame. Totally agree, my friend. I was hoping for you, not for myself because I already made my transfers, but hoping for you guys that we get some news. I'm still on Twitter, guys. No Newcastle from me either, says. Hopefully someone else has it. Wow. Everybody says no Newcastle. What? Oh, it's nonsense. So guys, people are just playing around, No news, guys. Let me see if anybody has it. I don't think so, guys. I'm still on Twitter checking the news. I don't think we're gonna get any news right now, guys. Please make your transfers. I don't think you should wait for much longer. In case we get a late news that Wilson is not starting, the servers might crash. It is better to make your transfers. If I had to pick one out of Wilson and Isaac, I would go with Isaac because that is exactly what I did for my own team. So if you still waiting whether to select Isaac or Wilson, I have gone for Isaac. But whichever one you want to select and lock your teams. Do not leave it late. That's all I'm telling you. Okay, whatever decision you want to make it and lock your teams, guys. Just under 3 minutes left. Wilson or Trippier to captain. Out of those two, I would possibly captain Wilson because of the explosive potential, but Trippier will play more. But I would still captain Wilson. Ederson and Mahrez starting, bro. I think Mahrez should start. I think Ederson should start as well. News on Rashford is not going to play this game week. Are 4 double game week players enough this week? Zara, I would love to have 6 double game week players in most of the teams. I think 4 should be okay. I mean, you know the answer. You're already having a FOMO, right? Because we need more. We always want the maximum double game week players, but as much as you can afford without taking too many hits is good enough. That's my answer to this. So guys, no news forthcoming from my side. Pope starts says, that's nonsense. Everybody knows Pope starts. People are just playing around, fooling around. I don't think nobody's gonna give you any team news, guys. Let's just lock your teams. All of you, don't wait any longer. Please lock your teams. Jota or Shaw? I would start Jota. Attacking threat, more but higher ceiling. Shaw, when he plays as centre back, I think he's restricted in his attacking potential. That's the reason. If I had the option, I would play Jota. No Newcastle. Oh, come on. Alright, I'm not gonna look on Twitter. People are just fooling around, guys. There's no news here. They don't have any news. Guys, you can look on the screen. I essentially set up a deadline timer for this. So nobody would miss the deadline, especially not on my streams. So please make your transfers. You still have 1 minute to go. Set your bench, set your captains as well. Don't miss the deadline. Trippier captain. I think the attacking players are better captaincy options, but if you don't have any of the attacking players, then you can go for Trippier as well. He's kept 1 clean sheet in the last 15 game weeks. So it is not the best option, but if you don't have any attacking players, then you can go for it. Team logged. Hello FOMO, my friend. Yeah, we can have this. We can have that song, right? Hello FOMO, my old friend. Like the deadline timer, I was going to suggest it, to be honest. Well, I feel some wizards can read the minds. That's what the wizards are for. Guys, last 30 seconds. Lock your team. Set your captains. Set your benches. We read minds, I feel some. We look into the future. Unfortunately, my crystal ball doesn't show the FPL future. Transfer done. Gross in for March. I think that's the right move, Fudzli. I think that should serve you all right. I don't think there's going to be a big difference between points of Eze, Elise, and March. Went Wilson and gave him the armband. Good luck, all. Well, CAV, good luck, my friend. At least, you made the decision. That's the most important thing, It is a roll of a dice. And Jared says, time's up, pants down. Right on. I even left a small message on the timer for you. It's deadline. So that the timer shuts down. I think this is a very handy thing to do. I'm going to put it on all the streams. Today I was just testing it out. Gonna possibly make it more beautiful and put it on all the streams from now onwards, and obviously try to improve the template a little more for next season as well. Good luck, everyone, says Smelly Web. Good luck to you as well, Smelly Web. So guys, in the end, we got no news about Newcastle, and that was what everybody was banking on for for news, for making their transfers. Everyone was waiting whether to kind of go for Wilson or Isaac. But even if that was the plan, you should always have had this plan in mind. So if we don't get any news, what are we gonna do? That should have been the if we don't get news, whether I'm gonna get Wilson or whether I'm gonna get Isaac, unless you're you're brave enough and get both of them. In that case, that's the best option anyway. Yeah, I don't think we got any news. Even still on Twitter, nobody gave any news, so I think we were good. Christian says, thank you, us. You always welcome, Christian. I captain Trippy in the very last minute, says Sylvester. Well, good luck to you, my friend. I hope it works out for you. As an owner of Trippier, I mean, I would be happy. I would be like excited. I would love to know the effective ownership of Trippier this week. I mean, if it is over 100%, essentially the owners of Kieran Trippier are looking for him to blank rather than get some points. That is the curse of effective ownership, guys. When you own players whose ownership is above 100%, if you've not captained them, and you're wanting them to blank. CAV says, really expected the news to come. I usually go with the penalty taker if it's a 50-50. That's a good one, CAV. If it was a single game week, I would possibly tell you to go with Wilson as well. The problem here is it's a double game week, and maybe Eddie Howe would not play Wilson for 180 minutes. That was my consideration when I was making the decision yesterday. So yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was thinking when I made the decision yesterday night. Zara says, thank you as you always. Welcome, Zara. Lighter says, surprised there was no news. Yep, I'm surprised as well. I mean, I was hoping that there would be some news. Although it's like, it's fine not to have news every week, guys. Sometimes we expect a lot of these guys. Whatever news we get, it is also we consider it as a windfall. George says, I kept Rashford in the end because we might get news in the double game week 37. That's fine, George. I mean, it would have cost you a -4 total, because taking out Rashford for Mahrez would have been a -2, not a -4. But I understand your sentiment. True. I am not free hitting next week, so not thinking about 37-38 when choosing. Can always switch next week. That is true. I totally agree. If FPL Jack says, transfers made with Mac Allister, Isaac and Forster in for Grealish, Ferguson and Rhea. Nice ones, Jug. I like those transfers, bro. All of them, in fact. I like all of them. I'm free hitting next week. I mean, yeah, I got the gist, bro. So you don't matter whether Wilson starts or not next week because you're already having a fresh team. I mean, excited to play free hit in the double game week. I wasted my free hit this season in a blank game week. Was not very exciting. I always love to play my my free hit ship in a double game week. It just it just hits different. Yeah. Even still on Twitter, there's no news. No news. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna look on Twitter anymore then. Let's see what happens. George says Haaland, Mitoma and Trippier might have over 100% effective ownership. I really don't like hoping players I own blank. It ruins the game. That's exactly why I don't look at EO, I'm just hoping the players I own, they perform. I just look at live FPL after the game week is over. So when I'm watching the games, I don't want them to be biased by FPL, because I am already biased because I know which players I own, right? I don't want to ruin my experience by now thinking about, like, I want this player to blank, I want this player to kind of do well. It just ruins the way I love to watch football. I want to just kind of, it's a getaway for me from this reality of this world. So I don't want to be too stressed out, and just want to chill and watch the games and have fun. The green grass, the ball getting kicked, that's all I love to watch. I don't care about FPL when I'm watching the games. I have my bench boost and I want to use it on Gameweek 37. What players do you think I should target? Omer, to be honest with you, just the double Gameweek players of, get like, obviously it is not now that you should kind of start planning for the bench boost. If you kind of knew you were going to bench boost on 37, then you should have like brought in the players which with maximum players which have a double game week in Gameweek 37 and put them on your bench for the bench boost. Right now you can just use maximum 2 or 3 transfers and try to fill up your team with the double game week players who have a good fixtures. That's all can be done. CAV says, we'll be asking for a free hit team next week from you. Hope you are ready. Don't worry, my friend. I'll bring a free hit team already with me. I'll take a snapshot and I'll just show it to you on the stream next week. So I will have a pre-made free hit team for this purpose. So anybody who's free hitting next week, I'll have a team ready for you guys before I come to the stream. No worries. What keeper do you think is most likely to keep a clean sheet? My friend, I can try to guess. To be honest with you, there's not many options there, I'd say De Gea can be a good option for next week. Ederson obviously, but we don't even know if he plays both the games. I'm talking only about the double game week players. So De Gea, I'd say De Gea is the best option. Maybe you can go for Steele. At least he keeps a clean sheet versus Southampton and makes lots of saves against Manchester City. He'll still pay you a lot of dividends. So yeah, Steele or De Gea, I'd say that's the one you can possibly go for. I'm just waiting to see if we get any Newcastle team news before I head off. It looks like everybody on Twitter kind of brought in Isaac and captained him as well. Most of them, one of the managers who I really like, and I believe he's got a very similar playing style to myself, as Tom Stephenson, FPL Badgers. Real goat of FPL. I really like his style. Brought in Isaac as well. Alright. So guys, currently I don't have any team news on Twitter, so I'm just gonna have to wait until for 20 minutes more. And so guys, I think predictions are kind of I would get a bit boring. If you want, I can do the predictions. I have some time on my hands. If not, then I can head off as well. It's totally up to you. If you want, I can stay and do the predictions. Else, I can put an end to the stream. So just comment and let me know what you feel and what you want, and I'll do it. So this is how people insert advertisements into their streams. Interesting. I never knew it, guys. Guys, I'm waiting for your answers. Whatever you say, I'm gonna do that. So should we go ahead and do predictions? FPL Sum says predictions. Alright. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and do predictions. Doesn't take a long time anyway. Jug says let's do it with. So guys, I'd love for you to kind of participate and give me your predictions as well. And I'll quickly do them. And Lighter says sure, Wiz. Right, let's go. And then let's do it. So Leeds versus Newcastle. I think this is gonna be a 1-3 game. I think Newcastle are going to score more goals than Leeds, but I don't think this is going to be a clean sheet for Newcastle, unfortunately, for all of you who've captained Trippier or own a double Newcastle defense like myself. I don't think they're going to keep a clean sheet against Leeds. I think Leeds at home, obviously they're fighting relegation, still not relegated. I think they're going to try, and at least they're going to, because they're going to be attacking, they're going to score 1 goal. So I'm going with 3-1 Newcastle. Let's see what you have to say about this one. Lightrace says 3-1 Newcastle as well. Guys, please get in your predictions so I can read, and then I'll move forward to the next one. Zara says Leeds 1-4 Newcastle. So we're all going for a lot of goals for Newcastle. We've all captained their attacking players. Then that's going to be good, right? Giovan says 1-2 for Newcastle. Interesting. FPL Sam says Leeds 2-2 Newcastle. Fadli says I need the clean sheets. Leeds are not scoring. Obviously, we all need the clean sheet. Right now, we're making predictions as to what we think is going to happen. You know, last hour we spent about speculating what we want to happen. Now we think. Now we're thinking about what really we think is going to happen. The FPL Jack says 1-2 Newcastle. Interesting. Atul says good luck all. Good luck, Atul. Good luck, my friend. All right. Whereas I'm sure we both don't mind a 0-0. I'd love for Newcastle to score. Allardyce loves clean sheets, but sadly Leeds defense is horrific. To be honest with you, they conceded 2 goals to City. I mean, it is not out of the question. You know, they went to the Etihad and conceded 2 goals, and those 2 were scored by Gundogan. They kept Erling Haaland quiet. You know, so nothing is impossible, guys. You know, Allardyce is a crazy man. Is Kiwior nailed to start? Yeah, I think he is. Fadzali. Saliba is not coming back. Holding is not getting a look in. Kiwior is nailed. Moving on, guys. Aston Villa versus Spurs. I think this game is going to end in a 2-2 draw. I don't think Aston Villa win this game. I think it could. I mean, Aston Villa could win this game, but Aston Villa don't keep a clean sheet. So I'm expecting Kane to score. I'm expecting Aston Villa to score. Let's go with a 1-1 draw. I'm going with a 1-1. But he says, don't jinx anything, because I'm not jinxing it. If my jinx really worked, I would be on top of FPL. I'd jinx everything, my friend. So yeah. I mean, this predictions are going to be interesting. Let's see what you think. 1-1 I'm predicting in this game. A draw. A scoring draw between Aston Villa and Tottenham. I'm not saying that on the stream, Fadzali. There might be some Spurs fans watching who want to hurt their sentiments. Lighter says 2-2. Watkins goal. I've just sold Watkins after 3-4 consecutive blanks. Don't want him to score now. Villa 3-1 says FPL. Some interesting. Jug thinks Spurs are going to win 2-1. Zara thinks Villa's going to win. So most of you going for a Spurs. 2 of you is going for a Spurs win. I'm going for a draw as well with Light Trace, and FPL Jug is the only one who thinks Spurs are going to win. Interesting. Fadli says, I still remember the Almiron move from you, Wiz, and you literally took him out next week and he went and to get so many points. Well, Fadzali, story of my life, right? I, bought the player before he peaked. 2 unpredictable teams. Yep. I mean, Aston Villa are really more predictable than Spurs right now. Spurs are really unpredictable. I think Nagelsmann is not even coming. So let's see what happens to them next season. Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. I think this game is going to be interesting. Aston Villa are not as good. Nottingham Forest are not as good away from home as they are at home. But they've got some attacking talent. I mean, this Morgan Gibbs-White has come into his own, scoring really good points for the past 3-4 game weeks. I think Chelsea going to win this game 3-1, but I think Nottingham can score. I mean, Nottingham went away to Liverpool at Anfield and gave them... I think it was Nottingham, wasn't it? Or was it Fulham? It was Fulham, I think. I made a mistake. Yeah, that was Fulham. Just a second, guys. I might be mistaken. Who was it? Oh, it was Brentford. Yeah. Who did they go to give a good game to Nottingham Forest? Why am I forgetting? Brentford 2-1. Yeah, they beat Brighton at home 3-1. They lost to Brentford obviously, and then they won 4-3 from Southampton. That was the game. I think I'd still stick with my prediction. 3-1 to Chelsea. Giovanni says 2-1 to Aston Villa. Yeah, that's almost a unanimous one. FPL Jug says 0-1 Nottingham Forest. What? Very nice one, man. And Giovanni says 1-0 to Chelsea. Lighter says 2-2. FPL Sum and FPL Jug think Forest's gonna win and Chelsea gonna lose. Crazy, guys. And that's gonna be a difficult one. Badali says, as a United fan and have no United players praying no clean sheet and Ericsson, Anthony to score, definitely not Bruno or Shaw. Well, this is what FPL leads you to, my friend. Conflicting thoughts. Me being an Arsenal fan, willing on Kane to score a goal just doesn't feel right sometimes. What's the Twitter group chat about, Wiz? I should be in it. Fadli, I think you are in it, aren't you? I already added you in it. Just send me a message on Twitter. I'll add you to that group. I think you're already in the group. I think I already added you. Aren't you in it? Yeah, you're not. Don't worry, I'll add you tonight. Don't worry about it. It's a pretty good group in which we discuss FPL. All the people who are on stream, FPL Jug, FPL Sum, Geo1 are in it. So yeah, good. Isaac and Wilson both start. Yay! So nobody's disappointed. Isaac and Wilson start, says FPL Rockstar. So guys, for all of you who got Isaac and Wilson, be happy, guys. And if you got both of them, be very happy. Well guys, all is well that starts well, right? Nah, all is well that ends well. But let's see what happens. The mindset of the Chelsea team is really unknown. Forest have to win. I still think Forest can survive. I would be interested to know who's going down. I think Southampton is pretty much going down. I think Leicester are in really big trouble. Leeds, I think they're going down as well. Everton also could be in with a shout to go down. I think this now currently 5 teams are fighting. Nottingham, Everton, Leicester, Leeds. Right? 2 of them have to survive. I think Nottingham could get relegated, potentially get relegated as well. They're just 3 points above the drop zone. Very close relegation fight. Lighter says, FPL Sam says Murphy benched. Murphy needs a rest. Wow, that's crazy. He's been playing so well. I recommended Murphy as a differential tonight on the stream. Thankfully nobody got him. But never expected him to get rested. So who's playing in place of him? Almiron? I think Almiron's gonna get a shout, and then if he's not starting. Let's see then, guys. I mean, interesting. Should. Anyways, let's see. Let's just finish with the quick predictions. So Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. I think Crystal Palace gonna win this game. Where's Bournemouth in the table? Are they safe now? Yeah, 39 points. I think Bournemouth is safe. Definitely safe. So Bournemouth gonna play with the handbrake off a little bit, right? Gonna be interesting to see. The realistic is Southampton, Leeds, Leicester going down. I think Southampton and Leeds are gone. Battle for the third. I think so. Yeah, Southampton is also on 30 points realistically. No, Southampton is gone. Obviously, Leeds are on 30 points as well. So Leicester's on 30 points. Leeds are on 30 points. Obviously, the goal difference of Leeds is highly worse than Leicester. Everton's on 32 points and Nottingham is on 33. It's gonna be interesting. Let's just finish these predictions, guys, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth, guys. What do you think? I think Crystal Palace gonna win this game. It could be. It could be. I think Bournemouth gonna score because they're gonna play with the handbrake off. 3-1, I'd say. 3-1. FPL Jack says 3-1 as well. Lighter says 2-1. FPL Sam says Greenwood 4.0. Stratford Palace. Greenwood's on my bench. Hopefully it doesn't do too much damage. I think it's going to be a good game, guys. I mean, Allardyce is the one to kind of pick them up. Leeds can still survive. They're on 30 points. They're on level with, they're level with Leicester. And just 3 points behind Southampton and, 2 points behind, they're 2 points behind Everton and 3 points behind Forest. So it's not the end of the world. They still can survive. Let's see. It's going to be a good game. Crystal Palace 4-1 Bournemouth. Right. Everybody thinks Crystal Palace is going to win. United Wolves, I think we can all agree that United are going to win this 2-0. Wolves not going to score anything. United going to score 2 goals. Bruno with both the penalties. I would be absolutely happy with this one. I'll just go through the predictions quickly, guys. Then I'm going to come back and read your predictions later. So Southampton, Fulham. This game can be interesting, but the way Fulham have been playing, I think can be interesting. Fulham gave a really good game to Manchester City a couple of weeks back. I remember Carlos Vinicius was immense in that game. I think Fulham gonna beat Southampton, or if Southampton gonna try and survive, I mean they can try and battle, but maybe it could be a draw or Fulham win. I don't see a Southampton win in this game. So let's go with 2-1 to Fulham. 2-1 to Fulham. Brentford versus West Ham. I think Brentford gonna win this 1-0. There's not gonna be too many goals in this game. West Ham are gonna be thinking about the Europa Conference League, and Brentford just gonna want to win to finish as high as possible. So 1-0 in this game. Brentford keep a clean sheet because I own Raya as well, so I'd love a clean sheet from this game. And I think they're gonna keep a clean sheet as well. I feel they're gonna conserve some energy. West Ham, Everton, Manchester City. Guys, these 2 games are hard for me to predict. Being an Arsenal fan, I might be biased. So these 2 games, I want you to give your predictions to me. Everton versus City and Arsenal versus Brighton. With Arsenal and Brighton, I think it's going to be a very difficult game. I don't expect, after the 5-1 loss to Everton, I expect Brighton to come back with a vengeance, because they were really close to make those top European places. For the Europa League, I think they're on 7th, like Tottenham on 6th. So Brighton should want to finish as high as possible, and because they've got games against Arsenal and Manchester City amongst the games which are left, so they'll try their best. So not going to be an easy game for Arsenal. I hope Arsenal wins this. Let me read your comments. 2-1 to Palace. Read that. Manchester United 1-0 to Wolves. Lighter says 2-1. FPL Sam says Brentford 1-0. Same. FPL Sam says Everton 1 to Manchester City. This is something what I expect as well. I expect Everton to fight hard, really fight hard, but lose the game in the end. Everton fired up at home, 2-1, 90th minute winner. Light rays, my friend. May the arrows be green. I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that, brother. Well, I don't see City losing. I hope. But I don't see it happening. I mean, Everton are the one which actually beat Arsenal when we were on that long unbeaten run. It was the first game of that Sean Dyche era, and they beat us. They goddamn beat us. And that's where my heart sank when we lost to Everton. Anyways, I'm moving forward, guys. Leicester versus Liverpool. I think Liverpool gonna find it hard because Leicester gonna try to survive. They're gonna try to play hard, but I think Liverpool gonna win this game 3-1. The more Leicester try, the more space Salah and Jota, and Gakpo and Darwin Nunez and Trent Alexander-Arnold they get, and the more space they get counter-attacking, Liverpool gonna destroy them. I personally feel for Leicester. I think this is not the game you want to be playing when you're fighting relegation. When you try hard, you lose harder to a counter-attacking team. That's the issue with playing against Liverpool for Leicester. I don't want Leicester to get relegated. I still remember the magical story when they won the title. I hope Leicester stays up, but Looking very unlikely, looking very hard now, you know. Just like glitches happen in the Matrix, you know, sometimes reality strikes the magical world as well. Alright, the last one is this Newcastle versus Brighton. This game is very difficult to call for me because I would like to look at how Brighton respond to that loss against Arsenal and then make the comment. But since we are predicting here, let's just go with the 2-1 Newcastle victory. So Lighter says 3-1 to Arsenal. FPL Sam says Leicester 1-2 Liverpool. And the last one, guys, I predicted a 2-1 win for Newcastle. Again, not a clean sheet, guys. Not a happy news for those of us who have two Newcastle defenders. So let's see what becomes of that. FPL Sam says 1-1 to Newcastle and Brighton. Gonna be interesting game to watch, to be honest with you. It's you know, weekend full of games, and next week as well we've got Champions League. We've got so many games, so lots of football coming up before the end of the season, guys. I hope you're ready. Newcastle 2-1 says Zara. Lighter says Newcastle 2-1 as well. Alright, guys, I think I'd go with that prediction as well. I predicted 2-1. So yeah. So guys, that's it. That is all with the predictions. We've got 3 minutes to go before we get the team news. I'm gonna stick around. I'm gonna read the team news for you before I leave. You know, it's just a couple of minutes to go. Let me take you to the Twitter page where the news is gonna come out. Alright, FPL Nima has his birthday today, and since we are opening it here, so I wish him a very happy birthday from one visit to the next. This is the guy I was talking about, guys. It's one of my favorite FPL managers. I like him a lot. Legend of the FPL game, Tom Stephenson. Really humble, down-to-earth guy, and like his playing style a lot. Jacob Murphy needs a rest, says FPL Rockstars. Alright, let's see. Team news is gonna be out soon. We're waiting. Wilton and Isaac starts with Akhilesh. Yes, Akhilesh, we know that. I mean, FPL Rockstar had revealed that right after the deadline. We're looking for the rest of them, you know. Actually, gonna do is go to the Newcastle page. Obviously, they've scheduled their yeah. Oh no. Homepage of Newcastle United. Crazy. There you go. Pope. Obviously starting Wilson. Elland Road. Yeah. 1 more minute to go for the team news, guys. So just stick around. I just keep finding ways to stay here. I should be heading off and doing some work, but just 1 minute more, and we shall have the news. Because this is an important news, to be honest with you. Not just for this match, but for the next one as well. There you go. So guys, Pope, obviously Trippier, Share. For anybody who was asking me what do you think of Share, I told you I think I'm gonna start Botman, Byrne, Gimerich, Joe Willock, Jolinton. So Almiron obviously comes in. So somebody asked me whether they should bring in Almiron, and I told them no, because I feel that Murphy's gonna start. But Eddie Howe's dropped Murphy, but I think maybe it can be due to the fact that they lost against Arsenal. So he wanted to change it up, and he felt in training that Almiron was sharp. But he didn't say anything of the sort in his press conference, or in his after-match talk. So Murphy's on the bench. Everything else is fine. Isaac starting, Callum Wilson starting. It's fairly regular news, other than Murphy getting dropped. Let's see what Leeds United has to offer. Robles. So Melly has been dropped by Sam Allardyce, guys. Robles, Firpo, Bobber, Christensen, Ailing, Hawk, McKinney. Greenwood. 4 million, guys. 4 million striker starting. Harrison, Rodrigo. I think this team scores 1 goal against Newcastle today. I don't think Newcastle are keeping a clean sheet. Alright guys, so guys, I hope you had FPL. Some says Jolent is, yeah. Well, he starts, right? Thankfully. Right guys, so with this brings us to an end of the deadline stream, and I'll catch you all next week for next week's deadline, which is a double game week, guys. Gonna be very exciting. Till then, I hope you all take care. I hope you have a great game week, and FPL is gonna sign out right now, guys. May the arrows be green. Have a great game week. Catch you soon. Bye bye.